Thank you very much for stopping by this channel. Just a disclaimer, this is not a sports channel, even though lately I've put in a lot of predictions out. Hindsight's always 20/20, and I really should have started this channel as a channel for sports, or a prediction at least, not a damn random channel. But again, hindsight's always 20/20. Or hindsight's always 50/50 if you're Cam Newton. Maybe some will get that, who knows. But anyway, I wanted to go over the 2023 Nebraska Cornhuskers college football season prediction. Now again, just another disclaimer, just realize this is a random person doing a random video for YouTube. That's free. So whatever I say, if I say they go 0-12, don't be butthurt, because it's only my prediction. I don't think they're going to go 0-12, and I certainly don't think they're going to go 12-0. I think Matt Rule is a good fit for Nebraska. He turned around Baylor. He did turn around Baylor. I think they went from 1-11 to like 7-6 into actually a really good program. They turned it around, and I still think Dave Arvada there, or Dave Andre or something, or the coach's name for Baylor. I hope you don't hear the... Anyway, motorcycles going by. Being 4th of July, there's been a lot of noise, especially with fireworks. Oh, jeez. Late at night, all that, early in the morning. Anyway, getting back to what I should be talking about. Nebraska, all right. I think they open up with at Minnesota. If you're a Nebraska fan, don't think that they're just going to be great right off the bat with Matt Rule. Don't think they're going to just go 12-0. They very well could. Anything's possible with that. But I think he's going to turn Nebraska around. I think they got the right hire. I think he's going to be a good coach. Barring anything unforeseen, I think he can lead them to a playoff. Really, I think he's that type of coach where he can win the conference, Big Ten, and within a matter of 3 to 5 years. But this year, don't expect any miracles. So, they play Minnesota at Minnesota. Going to PJ Flex, Minnesota Gophers. They won't win that game. They could. Of course they could. But I think my prediction is they don't get beat. I think they'll get beat up in Minneapolis by the Gophers pretty soundly. I think it'll be a learning experience. I think you know, anytime you are building a program, you don't want to see teams get beat. You know, if you're a Gopher fan, of course you're going to want to see the Gophers beat the Huskers. But as a Husker fan, you want to have them taste. You want to have humility. You know, because a lot of times you get these kids, just people in general, they think they're going to be so good, and I don't know if, you know, just having a loss right off the bat might help. Because what is Nebraska supposed to? I mean, you know, it's almost like I don't want to say it's like it's a win-win situation this year, because obviously there's games to lose and you want to win now. But if you're a realist and not an optimist, I think, you know, when it comes to the season anyway, you want to look at Nebraska with a logical standpoint, a logical view of they're just not going to be the best. They're just not going to go in there and win, going to be 12-0. I can almost guarantee it. I'll make a public apology if they go 12-0. I'll make a YouTube video of me apologizing and saying I was way wrong, which I have no problem doing, but they're not going to go 12-0. They play Minnesota off the bat. They'll get beat. I don't know what the score is going to be, but they'll get beat. At Colorado. Now, this is a game I think they can win. I think Colorado is not a great team. There's a lot of hype around Deion Sanders going at Colorado, and I think that's pretty cool and everything, but I just don't see them being that good. And I think Nebraska is going to have a win against Colorado. So it'll be 1-1. And then they'll play Northern Illinois. Northern Illinois is a pretty decent MAC team. They're not as good as they used to be, where they were really good. And I think they'll beat Northern Illinois. I think it'll be 2 touchdowns. Then Louisiana Tech, they're a hot and cold team. Louisiana Tech, you just don't know. Again, I think they'll win because they're at home. They'll go 3-1. Then a tough test comes to Lincoln. Michigan will stomp Nebraska. Not just stomp them, they'll stomp them big time. And this is where they're going to get back to reality. After winning 3 straight, I think Michigan's going to pound them. They very well could shut them out. Very well could. I'm not saying it's gonna. Michigan 37, Nebraska 0. Then they play at Illinois. I think Illinois is going to be one of the better teams in the Big Ten West. I don't know how many athletes they lose. Brent Bielema is the coach there. I still think he is, as far as I know. I think this game will be close. I think they go Illinois looking at Nebraska and thinking, oh, they just got destroyed by Michigan. We're going to go in there, and then it'll be a close game. I say Illinois wins by a touchdown, 28-21. Then Nebraska welcomes Northwestern, a team that they should have beat last year. It wasn't for coaching. I think they're going to beat Northwestern, 27-10. They're going to get revenge for getting beat last year in Ireland. Purdue comes into town. I think that's going to be it's going to be a loss. Then at Michigan State, my Spartans. I like Michigan State. They're been my favorite team for a long time. Since I've always liked them. I mean, I kind of grew up watching Notre Dame and Nebraska, but I've always kind of liked Michigan State. Anyway, those are the local teams I watched. But Michigan State I always liked, so that'll be a close game though. That could be a 1-point game, or it could be a blowout. Again, these are just predictions. Like I say, there's a YouTuber just making predictions. When you get athletes or get analysts that make millions of dollars just to tell you who they think they're going to win or lose, and they're usually wrong anyway. So I think this game's going to be close. They played, I think, one time a couple years ago, or was it 2 years ago, or last year? No. Where they played at Michigan State, and I think it was 2 years ago. Or it could have been, anyway. It was really, really close. Nebraska probably should have won that game. And I think it's going to be a similar game where Michigan State's not the greatest. Mel Tucker is leading that team in the right direction, even though his first year was good. The second year was below average. I think Michigan State will be a little better, and they should. Prediction, they'll win. They should beat, or Michigan State will win. They'll beat Nebraska. Again, it's Nebraska. Sorry, this is a Nebraska prediction. Kind of going a different direction, but all right. Then they play Maryland at home. Maryland is not a slouch. Maryland is not a bad team. I think Maryland's going to end up winning that game. Nebraska goes at Wisconsin. A new coach, Luke Fickell. They're probably one of the better Big Ten West teams, and I think Wisconsin finds a way to win. Then Iowa's going to look for revenge from last year because Nebraska beat Iowa. Go figure, at the last game of the year. I think Iowa's going to be ready, and they're going to pound Nebraska. So, 4-8, maybe 5-7. I mean, obviously, I'd say 4-8, 5-7 at the best. Nebraska fans, you have nothing to be ashamed of. You will see Nebraska be successful. Barring anything unforeseen, we're going to be around for another 5-10 years from now. They'll be talking about Nebraska as another powerhouse. I mean, that's a bold prediction. So, anyway, thank you. Have a nice day.